what examples did each of you see or experience? Did you have with giving money to a church?
Well, growing up, my parents were very faithful about going to church and giving. My dad, I know my dad put that check or filled out his envelope every Sunday and dropped it in church every Sunday. I, I saw him do that all the time. How much they gave, I don't know if what they were giving, but I know that they were giving.
I don't remember my parents giving so much. We did more doing. My mom, we had foster children. We had homeless people living with us. So I remember doing more doing than giving. So I don't know if my parents gave.
So when did you start coming to Oakdale? And what was your initial practice and attitude as a couple? If you were a couple, I'm thinking you were when you came here.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your initial attitude and practice when it came to giving?
We started coming to Oakdale right after our middle child was born, so about 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I was staying at home, and Brad was working as a teacher. So we didn't have a whole lot of expendable cash. And I don't think we saw any value in tithing at all. And so, we gave when we could, but we kind of just ignored the whole idea
Yeah.
of tithing.
We didn't want to think about it.
We didn't want to think
We
about
didn't want
it.
to think about it.
And I certainly had the mentality of, but we're doing, we're doing all kinds of things. We would adopt a family at Christmas, or we would do the Thanksgiving boxes. And
Yeah.
so in my head, that was tithing.
Yeah. I mean, I remember we were just giving. There was no real purpose. It was no real thought behind it. We just kind of either put what we had in our wallet or wrote a check. It wasn't
consistent.
It wasn't intentional.
Yeah, it wasn't consistent
intentional.
or intentional.
Yeah.
So how has your mindset and practice of giving changed? Who, what, when, why influenced what you're doing now? Share that.
So I think it was about 9 years ago, and I think Kevin must have done some sort of sermon must have been that time of year when they were asking for pledges or whatever, and we were at our small group, and we just said, why should we tithe? Like, what's the purpose? We're living paycheck to paycheck. Why does the church want our money or need our money? And I very clearly remember Kevin saying it has nothing to do with the church wanting or needing your money. And God doesn't want your money either. God wants your trust. Do you trust God to take care of you in all aspects of life, including your finances?
Yeah.
So did you make a decision at that point that you were going to start giving more consistently, tithing? What did that look like? And as a couple, how did you work through this decision? Were you both on the same page because you'd been talking about it in your small group and so on, or what did that look like?
We were definitely not on the same page. We
Let me go back.
were.
Brad, I'm going to ask you, just give me the context on that. Say
Okay.
we were, definitely not on the same page about
Okay.
giving, tithing, however you want to fill that in, or about how we can move forward.
Okay,
if you want to
gotcha.
do that.
We were definitely not on the same page about giving and tithing. Definitely not about tithing. I think, when we were faced with that question, do you trust God? That was kind of challenging for us. And so it began sort of the conversation about, do we really trust God? Do we really trust God with our money? And so it started becoming one of those kind of back and forth conversations. And I definitely remember you wanted to give more than I wanted to give.
Yeah.
You were ready to start giving more, and I was definitely resistant. I think I was resistant because I was afraid. I mean, you were staying home. I was working. We had two young kids.
The numbers
Um,
never add up for us
Right.
financially.
No way.
When you look at, what we're bringing in, and what our tithe amount is, the numbers just don't add up.
No.
And so I think it was really scary. And I just kept hearing this little voice in my head say, "Do you trust me to take care of you? Are you all in?" And so I'm the one who
I
does.
wasn't hearing that voice.
Yeah. And I'm the one who does the finances in our house.
Yes.
So, I started, giving, I think we were at 1 or 2% to start with.
Well, after conversation, we had agreed that we were going to do it.
Right.
I think it wasn't like you just
Yeah,
started,
no,
you
I
didn't
didn't
just
do
start
it.
giving, and
Right. I didn't do it without talking to him. We
Right.
definitely had conversation about it. I was just a little bit more willing,
Yeah.
than he was. And so we started at a very low amount. And we weren't real consistent to begin with. And then every year when the conversation came up, the pledge cards came out or whatever, we would go, okay, I think we need to give another $20 a month, or I think we need to give another $50 a month. And
Yeah.
It just continued to evolve.
Well, and I think too, it took that sort of step about going, all right, we're going to start giving more, then giving a little more and a little more, for us to realize, wow, we really are okay. We really are.
Yeah.
God is really taking care of us. And it took us actually giving that money for us to really see that God was going to take care of us financially. And
we can look back over the years and see so many examples of when, I can remember thinking, oh my goodness, where's that money going to come from? How are we going to pay the electric bill this month? And something would happen. Somebody would need me to do a little bit of work for them, kind of part-time or whatever, that I could do from home while I had the kids. And sure enough, it would be enough to cover that bill, or, some money would come from somewhere. But I think over the years, things just kept falling into place, and more things kept happening, showing us that God showing us over and over again, I'm going to take care of you. If you trust me, I'm going to take care of you.
So, what would you say was that time frame then? So from the time that you started writing the checks to just give me an idea. You said
to
years.
tithing?
Yeah, just the number of years over which you incrementally raised that level of giving.
I think it was about 7 years, because it was about 2 years ago.
It was about 2 years ago when we finally decided to start tithing. And do you remember?
Yeah, I was sitting in church, and Jen was having her little conversation with Kevin during the sermon. Brad was on a live with Graham, and
it was Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in in the little conference room there with a guy talking to the middle school kids about, putting their faith in God and living at the Word. And you're here at Oakdale in church.
And I
texted me.
I did the math, and I looked, and I realized that $50 more a month and we would be tithing. So I sent him a text and said, here's where we're at. This is what's going on. Can I do this? And he wrote back, yes. And it was 2 years ago, we were financially at our lowest. I had been home for 12 years with the kids. Montgomery County hadn't given a raise in 3 or 4 years. We had completely depleted all of our savings. We were not able to make ends meet every month.
We had a son in travel soccer.
And we just said, and God had shown us so many times over and over again, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you, that we both felt that this was the right time and we just needed to do this.
And I think for me, when you'd sent me that text, it wasn't even really a question. I don't even think it was really a question for you either, but it was just making sure we were on the same page that why not? Why are we not just continuing to do this? God has continued to bless us through this, and we've had, years. I mean, I think it was probably maybe 5 or 6 years of slowly, maybe 5 years of slowly increasing our giving and pushing ourselves a little farther, and then you get to that place where you're like, well, God has blessed me so much. How can I not give what He's asking?
Are there places, though, where you can identify things that you did have to sacrifice,
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely.
you and the family?
We absolutely had many places that we had to sacrifice.
I do not
over the
have new
years.
golf clubs.
Okay, so more than that.
Okay.
We didn't have iPhones until last year. We had just plain old flip phones. And that was just okay. Brad doesn't have his big screen TV. He still to this day doesn't have his big screen TV.
No, I need one.
We've always bought used cars. For years I bought all the kids'
Mhm.
Christmas presents at yard sales.
Mhm.
So yeah, we made a lot of sacrifices. Over
Yeah, I
the
mean,
years.
we didn't. There were years there where we weren't going out to dinner. We
Right.
weren't, every once in a while, but not like we weren't going to Starbucks every day. We weren't, we were really trying to be creative with our money.
Fancy financing is what I call it. Moving the money around
Right,
and
right.
whatever. And I think it was, I don't remember when it was, but Oakdale started doing the online giving. And that was when we
Mhm.
ended up being completely consistent. I signed it up and I said to Brad, I'm going to do this because we're just going to learn to live. This is not our money. 10% of this is
Mhm.
God's money. And we're just going to learn to live on the 90%.
Yeah.
And so since we've had the online giving, we have faithfully given every month.
And we continue to do things like, adopt people at Christmas and do the Thanksgiving boxes and do those sorts of things on top of our tithe, on top of our 10%. So, because I just feel like that's what God's asking us to do. I think
Right.
God's asking us to, okay, you're gonna give me that and continue to try to bless people. And so,
Help me set this up with the context. How about the kids? You've got 3 now. What are you showing them, modeling them? Can you tell that they get that you are giving generously to the church and that other things
Mhm.
have to sometimes be of secondary importance to that? I assume they want a big screen TV or whatever they need, though. For the Redskins, I can't
Yeah.
for the life of me figure out why. And Josh, you can leave that part in the video. So anyway, help me set this up.
So we have 3 kids, and at various ages, 13, 11, and 7. And so we have been trying to teach them the value of money and the value of giving. We did the Financial Peace University with our small group, and as we have kind of made this journey toward tithing, it comes up. Hey, why can't we spend money on that? Why can't we go out here? Why can't you buy ice cream at the pool? And we choose to say to them, sometimes we will, but we're choosing to spend our money in other ways. We're choosing to give or donate our money, or give to Bible school, bring the money in for their the whatever the cause is that year. They, as they're part of their allowance money, they have a donate bag, so they have to donate 10% of their money into a donate bag that they can then choose where to give that money to, whether it's a cancer drive at school or whatever, just to get them in that habit.
And we certainly have conversations with them of, I know recently, it wasn't about giving, but we were at Target and there was a family on the side of kind of
out in the parking lot.
Out in the parking lot. And so when we got inside, I said to the kids, I said, hey, I noticed that there was a family out there. I said, would you be okay if we didn't buy these couple things and instead purchase some things for that family? Mm-hmm. And they said, yeah, let's do that. And so we went ahead and did that. So, we're talking, just kind of trying to talk to them all the time about where our money is going.
Mm-hmm.
How has this impacted either one of you spiritually? Are there ways that it's changed or deepened your relationship with God or with anyone or anything else?
Seeing how God has continued to bless our family is just humbling. I mean, it is just it. It has made me just want to grow closer to God. It has made me want to be the man that God has asked me, because God's saying, "I'm taking care of you now. Do what I need you to do. Do what I want you to do. Help me grow my kingdom. Help me raise up people so then we can pass it on." And when you see how clearly God is taking care of you, it just becomes so overwhelming.
I think we've become very purposeful as well in our decision making. We, you know, try not very hard not to make decisions based on money. We try to make decisions based on, does that work for our family? Does that fit in our family? And we can do that because we fully trust that God is going to take care of us.
Yeah.
And I am now working, so financially things have gotten a lot easier. But it was a no-brainer when I started working. Only 90% of that money is ours. 10% of it is God's. And so, now we're tithing off of the money that I bring in as well. And I just think we make better decisions because we're not making decisions based on money.
Okay, let's pause for just a second.
Why do you think that God cares about our giving?
Because he wants us to.
Because
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
So she's got it. You got your answer, Kira. Okay.
Sorry.
I think God cares about our giving because
I think God cares about our giving because he wants us to trust him, and he wants us to know that he is going to take care of us in all aspects of our life, including our finances.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people who may feel a tug toward tithing, maybe especially after hearing your testimony, but are afraid or maybe don't know where to start?
I think what I would say to people or couples that are starting out is you just have to take that step. You have to take that first step. And if you're not ready to fully trust your money to God, just take a step. Give a little bit more than you've been giving. Take that leap of faith, because God will show you through doing that he's going to take care of you. From our experience, when we started giving, I personally was not at the point where I was ready to completely hand over our finances to God. But as we continue to give and as we continue to increase and push ourselves and stretch ourselves a little financially, I could see how clearly God would take care of us. And so I think that would be the piece that I would say to just do it. Just start and take what you're giving now and give a little bit more and just increase it. And you'll see how God is just going to take care of you and bless you.
Yeah, I would just reiterate the same thing, that just start small, start just a little bit outside your comfort zone, and then just sit back and see what God does. And I think you'll just be amazed at how he takes care of you.